Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 3, High Notes and Cheap Shots. Cheap Shots. Brittany and Mike, we is at their house. They about to have like a little family dinner with friends and things like that. Or just family. Either way. She brings up again about her past being a video vixen while she was in high school. Not sure why she keeps bringing that up, because do we really care? I mean, I can go back and watch some old videos and maybe point her out, because, I can see, if you watch old videos, you will see Portia, a lot of the Love and Hip Hop girls. Yeah, you will see a lot of them. So I'm gonna go back and check her out if her face is still the same. That is okay, but it doesn't look like she done did too much compared to some of the others. But she does let us know as well that she used to date Rick Ross at some point. You know. So, her encounter with Kenya was very memorable. It really did stick in her brain because she had to bring it up yet again. And this was it's her sister-in-law, I believe. This is Mike's sister that she was talking to. Yeah, just saying how, you know what? It ain't gonna be a problem as long as, she keeps it over there. She keep it cute. She keep it mute. But if not, we'll have to see. And we already know that she is gonna see. That's what, like, and that's, I'm really only excited just to see what goes down with Kenya and Brittany this whole season of Housewives of Atlanta. The rest of everybody, I'm really not that invested. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, Brittany and Mike, kids. They want kids. Plus, they already married, but they want us to have this big old ceremony. So it's just a little compromise of what they're trying to figure out or what they want to do, right? And yeah, Mike, I said he was a little quiet at first, but now he's getting to talking, and I'm looking at him, you know, it's only been a couple episodes. We don't really get his personality too much. It's just not. I don't know about him just yet. But she goes on to let us know a little bit more about her insurance business. How it initially started was because of her dad. When he had passed, his insurance money policy, was supposed to be inherited by her mother, but for some reason things happened and she never got it. So with that, it was like, well, let me start my own thing, and that way we can keep money in the family and all this type of stuff, right? Grow generational wealth and whoop whoop whoop. So she brought her sisters in. She got two sisters. But somewhere along the line in business, between, I think they were trying to sell some things, or, whatever, they clashed. And so their relationship is just not the best. Okay, so Portia and Kelly meet up because, remember, they had this little rift about, you stole that girl lady husband, did you or did you not? And of course, Portia wasn't feeling that, because how you supposed to be meeting me and that's what you're going to, that's the first thing you're going to say to me? Okay. So they got to meet up just to try to fill each other out, get to know each other a little bit better, 101, and just see where each other coming from, right? So Kelly lets her know that I got an event coming up and I'm going to invite you and all the ladies. Okay, cool. Whoop de whoop. Um, yeah. So where do, I was only asking questions that I just wanted to know the answers to. Okay, everybody was wondering. I'm sure I wasn't the only one, and I wasn't trying to be mean or malicious or shady. You know how everybody do that, right? So of course Portia's like, "Girl, I'm siding on you because I'm like, you just got like too many personalities, and I just don't know." And how do you know if she got too many personalities if you only just met her? So you only know that one side of her, right? Okay, so Portia just talking out the side of her. And of course, Kelly's like, yeah, if I got too many personalities, then girl, you got too many men. So pretty much, Kelly was telling Portia that it was Shamia who told her to ask her, just so that, it wasn't like a elephant in the room. It was just let me get it out there and then we can move on type of thing. So Portia like, well, dang, why would she tell you to tell me, like, to say that, like, that doesn't sound very friendly of, like, that's supposed to be my friend. You gonna tell her to say some stuff like that to me? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to ask her about that. Basically, in the back of her head, she's gonna keep that in the back of her head. And eventually, they just kind of laugh it out and just kind of see like, okay, well, maybe you ain't so bad after all, and maybe we might can grow a little friendship. We might have some things in common. We'll see. All right, so we're gonna go to the studio where we see Drew sing a little yang 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 on the mic. She invites Angela, Cynthia, and Kenya here, and doing what they do, talk about what happened. We do get a little bit more about Angela and her relationship with Charles to say how, like, they remember how they met way back in the past. Obviously, when he was probably married with his first wife or second. Nah, I'm just playing games. But either way, they lived in the same apartment building, so meeting each other in the elevator type situation. Being friends with the concierge downstairs, so you can always kind of spy on him a little bit. But either way, we just get to the point to figure out Dennis and Drew. Of course, Kenya's gonna be the one to bust it open. Like, girl, is you dating Dennis or what? Like, what's going on? And Drew says, well, he's an executive producer on the song. She goes on to say how working with him was all, she thought everything was good and cool and all because Portia was giving her a blessing and she reached out to Portia so many times and she thought everything was okay. So, of course, producers is asking her, okay, well, you say you got receipts and everything, show me. So she's showing these text messages of her literally texting Portia each of these days of I'm doing this, I'm doing that, this and this and that, but no response from Portia. So how do you think this whole time that she's okay with all of this if she never really told you, if she's not responding to say, oh yes, cool, sure, lucky go boo boo, have fun, do you, like, she, none of that. And then when she finally did reach out, it was to decline some type of invitation or offer to go somewhere. So, child, lying. Talking about she don't talk to Dennis on the phone like that. They do text messages or email, but then producers go in and show he's definitely on the call log. Boop. We caught you on the hot mic the other day talking to him while he was in the kitchen. So what is it? Of course, yeah. Kenya calls it out. Don't be trying to play no victim here, Drew. Don't be doing that. Cause while you over here, what she said, you out here being a whore. Look, you out here being his whorish activities, okay, going on around here. And the biggest question that Kenya asked, which was, why isn't Dennis speaking up for you? Which technically he did to Portia in the last episode when he explained his little side of wanting to promote himself while filming with her and just working with her because they friends and he friends with Ralph and whoop whoop whoop. So he kind of did speak his little piece. It just wasn't to y'all, but he did explain that to Portia, right? Um, this rolls into Shamia because Shamia kind of was the one who started this whole situation, okay? Because she was the one who brought it up, right? So Angela was like, yeah, I mean, we all met and it just wasn't the best interaction I'd ever had with her. Like, yeah, we kind of got into it just a little bit and she ended up walking off. So I wasn't sure, what was up. Like, I was feeling that maybe she was being a little lackey over there for Portia, and she wasn't feeling that, right? So, pretty much Shamia and Angela do need to speak at some point, but they'll get there eventually. Same with Portia and Drew. They will eventually speak. So Shamia has two sisters, and we see her talking with them, interacting just about life struggles, being a parent, having these children, trying to have more children, um, dealing with the Shiloh. And in this part, my question was because she wants to have talking about IVF to have another kid via surrogate, I believe, right? Is this because she wants to have the kid, or is it because he wants to have the kid? Because there's a difference here. Okay. I don't, she never technically said, like, I know she said that she wants it to grow her family and expand and all that stuff, but is it really like a real true main desire, or is this just something that like the husband is just trying to tell you on a slow little slide, like, okay, girl, these the tick time is going, and we need to get these boys on the road because it's two girls. I imagine he might want a son, but I'm just thinking, throwing questions out there, just asking. Angela and Charles. Charles, your food is ready. All right. Investment property. So she's in real estate. And they kind of partner up right now to do a little home renovation, it looks like, on something that she's gonna eventually sell. Here we learn a little bit more about their relationship to what maybe back in about 2017. Um Mr. Charles had some issues out in New York where he was banned from the Madison Square Garden. Okay. Something I'm going to have to look up because I don't really know nothing about him like that. Okay. In basketball, especially if it's in New York. Like, that's not my teams and nothing, right? I don't live there. I live in Michigan. It would be Detroit Pistons. Okay. Bad boys. Anyway, from that incident, they kind of went through a little rough patch in their relationship to where she brings up that she's been going to therapy, not sure how long, but it will be great for them both to do, and, make their relationship better. So, whoop de whoop de whoop. Nothing there. Nothing. Look, small scene. Don't want to talk about it too much. Drew with this ugly suit. I had to write that down with her lawyer to go talk about Ralph, okay? They filed for this divorce 2023, which we all remember February. Yes, I thought it was March, but February, yes, okay. Um, so the main goal is to get Ralph about the house and to sell it, okay? It was the judge's decision to make him go into the basement, which I don't know why. Like, what kind of judge would do that? Okay, whatever. But her lawyer was just telling her that pretty much everything that Ralph is doing that he thinking is right is pretty much going to shoot himself in the foot because it's all showing that he's a narcissist. He's manipulative, a bit controlling and contrived, trying to do all this stuff because, yeah, he's not showing any financials on his end. Okay, we need to see what where's your bank statements, man? Where's your taxes? I need to know. Everything he pulling out is all Drew shit. So why you got all her paperwork and her bank accounts and her statements? Where is yours? I thought you had a job, a good decent job. I thought. No, listen, Ralph playing games, and I don't know. Drew. Listen, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what kind of judge this is, but we need to get him about that basement for real. It's not. It's not gonna work for me for him to be down there and I'm up here, and I know he's there listening to me walking back and forth. I will probably stomp every day on the ground like boom, 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 just the ooh man playing games. I'm telling you. Oh man, and their case right now is sealed. Okay. Um, the scary thing is, well, the main thing I guess on Drew's end is she wants it to keep it to be sealed because she don't want everybody to know all their business. But I want to know. Please unseal it. I want to know all of the Floridian secrets. Shouts out to Rogers. Okay, I need to know. Yeah, this was a very quick episode. Not too much going on, but Shamia goes to. Oh, her baby had to go get surgery for her tonsils. Portia and her mama, they go and get some pedicures and, girl time, chilling. And, just talking about this divorce. Geez, Simon just putting her through it. She's stressed and she just feel all alone because the man ain't talking to her. No communication at all. Like, and not even from his family. And usually, as well, not all of us know, but if you are friends with African people or like that, they work as like a whole unit. So If you got problems like me, I'm a wife, right? And if my husband was African, his brother will have, like, I'll have to talk to his brother. Like, that's how it'll work. Or I'll have to talk to his father, stuff like that. Or the sisters, like, but for some reason, his family is like telling Portia, girl, we don't even want to, we don't even want to talk to you. You want to take that all up with the lawyers, okay? So with that, yeah, she's super alone, no support. She don't know what she's gonna do. Um, and of course, this kind of rolls into some Shamia talk because we know they've been friends since they was kids. So the mama knows Shamia obviously, and she was just telling her. I mean, if Shamia, well, let's just bring it back just a little bit. Portia was saying that, okay, I'm talking to Shamia. She's trying to get me out to have fun, things of that nature. But when we get to talking, she's talking about all the girls talking about me. So I'm a little confused because you're supposed to be my friend, and that's all y'all doing is just talking about me. Are you talking about me? So that's in her little mind. She's kind of giving a little side eye thought. And of course, her mom, just being the mom that she is, just telling her, like, I mean, listen, what'd she say? Watch the dog who get the bones? Something like that. Whoever gets the dog. Yeah, something about the dog and the bones. Obviously, keep your eyes on her. I mean, we know her, we've been friends with her for a long time. But hey, we just never know, okay? And I'm trying really not to be all up in, like, well, I didn't really see much of it in the blogs going on to see, like, is this going to be a breakdown of Portia and Shamia's relationship to where they will not be friends by time reunion hits? Or is this going to make their relationship stronger as friends? All right, so we get to the main event, which is Kelly's. It's like an osteoporosis, brittle bone disease type event to raise money to donate for this disease cause. And it's going to be held at the Ball. Look, I said Ballman. I did not know they was calling it Ballman. Is it Ballman for real? I got to look it up. But either way, because, I just figured she trying to be all fancy, like, Balmain is my favorite. And I love them. Oh, so we're going to have this event in their store. I was thinking she was trying to be like that. But either way, it's kind of like a mom and daughters event, which was very cute because a lot of the ladies dressed up with matching outfits with their daughters. So I thought that was so cute. I was like, oh, look at Portia with the lemon and her baby, and Kenya was matched. Like, it was cute. It was cute. Um, Everybody was going around saying, oh my God, have you talked? And it's Angela and Shamia. Have you talked to Shamia? Have you talked to Angela? Have you talked to Shamia? Have you talked to Angela? No, I ain't talked to her yet. This and this and that. Like, dang, we just got to the party. I ain't talked to nobody yet. Okay? Like, for real. So eventually, they kind of run into each other. Okay? And it was more of Angela reaching out to Shamia just to say, like, okay, girl, obviously when we first met, things didn't go, the best in our last conversation. So listen, we can talk. I'm very open to talk with you if you want to talk with me. Cool, cool, cool. So Shamia kind of already, her attitude was already there before she even talked to the lady, okay? Because I think it was when Portia asked her, did you talk to her? She said, who, that lady from the 90s? So see, she already had the attitude. She already had it. So when Angela came to her, she couldn't help herself but to call her that. Like, yeah, you and your 99 nose. I mean, 95, obviously. I'm just saying. But she kept saying that, yeah, you and your nose, you from 99, 2000. I don't want to talk to you, this and that. Because they was like, it started off cool. But like Shamia, the one that took it there. So Angela was giving her little get backs and go call her Flavor Flav. So it makes it even, right? She called me Flavor Flav. I call her whatever the heck I called her. But either way, I didn't know she actually dressed up like Flavor Flav for Halloween like a couple years ago, which was actually pretty cute, pretty cool. I feel like did anybody else do that? No, no. Angela proceeds to call her a mean girl and says, yes, your name even implies it. Shamina, Shamina. And they like, oh my goodness. And they, guys, girls, come on, calm down. We don't need to fight. This is not the place for it. This is a cool, positive environment, which it was. Like we gotta like the kids are here, so let's not get loud, okay? So they was kind of breaking off a little bit, going back and forth, pulling each other apart. The Flavor Flav thing. You a hype man for Portia. Okay, we get it. We get it. And like they was it. Shamia was all up in my brain because I said she was giving Latoya. I said maybe she was going for Janet, but it turned into a Latoya because I'm thinking her age range. I don't want to put her age out there. I mean I don't know the exact number. I gotta look it up, but we can tell. Okay, we can tell the eras. Okay, the eras. He was in that Jackson, Latoya, Janet era, and yeah, that's what it ended up turning to look like. Okay, and either way, in this back and forth, they pull each other apart. They go their separate ways, and we kind of calm down just a bit, tad bit on it. Drew and Shamia, because Drew kind of showed up just a little bit late. I don't know if she showed up just a little bit late with her sister. But either way, her sister, I looked at her again. She looks like Carla from the Food Network. Look at her, y'all, and look at Carla. They look like they could be twins. But Shamia apologizes to Drew from the little conversation they had at the little when they was working out between her and Angela because it wasn't supposed to, she wasn't supposed to be arguing with Drew. It was mostly between her and Angela. So they squashed that and they can move on because yeah, listen, we ain't got no beef. I got beef with your friend. And we'll just end the episode here. We're still at the party. And Drew decides to go up to Portia to say, hey, girl, can we talk? And Portia like, okay, sure. But we ain't going to talk here, not right now, okay? And Drew like, are you sure? Like, for real? Like, we can't just talk? Like, and Portia looking at her like, girl, listen, we're not gonna do this today, okay? You can call me another time and we can do this, but it's not gonna be here, not today. And obviously Portia peeped it because she like, yeah, she done came with her sister. So she got backup. If she was here by herself, I don't think she would have came up to me trying to, get big all of a sudden. Cause nope, she already know. But it is what it is. They're going to figure it out another time, which I don't know why Drew wanted to talk to her then. This is not the time. I think she wanted to because of the cameras. A lot of people want to do that. When we got the camera going, hey, let's bring it up and start a fight here at the party. Yeah, but not today, like I said. The kids was here, and we in Balmain store. I'm sure they don't want y'all tearing up that good stuff y'all trying to buy, which I'm sure they did buy some good stuff. She said they raised about $30,000 to $50,000 or so, which is cool. But we're gonna get back into it for the next episode, and I'll see y'all next time because we're gonna really get into this. We're gonna start the Kenya and Brittany beef because it's gonna start. Bye.